In a lush and verdant forest, there lived two unlikely companions, Tony the turtle and Terry the tortoise. Though both shared a hard shell and a slow pace, their personalities could not have been more different. Tony was adventurous and always looking for new places to explore, while Terry was cautious and preferred the safety of familiarity. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Tony convinced Terry to join him on an adventure to a distant lake. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, Terry agreed. The duo set off under the cover of twilight, following a narrow path that wound through the trees. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, the sounds of nocturnal animals filled the air. The path grew narrower and more treacherous, but Tony's enthusiasm was undeterred. "We're almost there, Terry. Just a little farther," Tony urged, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Suddenly, they heard a rustling in the bushes. Both froze, their hearts pounding. Out stepped a cunning fox named Felix, who had been following them for quite some time. Felix had a reputation for being a master of deception, and he grinned slyly at the sight of the two slow-moving creatures. Well, what do we have here?" Felix said, his voice dripping with false sweetness. "Two little travelers far from home. Where might you be headed?" Tony, ever the bold one, replied, "We're headed to the lake. It's supposed to be beautiful." Felix's eyes sparkled with malicious intent. "Ah, the lake. I know a shortcut that will get you there much faster. Follow me." Terry felt a shiver of doubt, but Tony, trusting and eager, nodded. "Thank you, Felix. We appreciate your help." As they followed Felix, the path became even darker and more treacherous. Terry's unease grew with every step. Finally, they reached a narrow, overgrown trail that led to a clearing. But instead of the lake, they found a deep, dark ravine. Felix's grin widened. "Here we are. Now, if you want to reach the lake, you'll have to cross this ravine." He pointed to a flimsy-looking rope bridge swaying precariously in the wind. Tony and Terry looked at each other, realizing they had been duped. The bridge was a trap, and crossing it would likely lead to their doom. Terry's cautious nature kicked in, and he whispered, "Tony, we need to find another way. We can't trust Felix." Before they could react, Felix lunged at Tony. Felix intended to push Tony into the ravine, but Terry, mustering all his strength, charged at Felix and knocked him off balance. The fox stumbled and fell into the ravine, disappearing into the darkness below. Breathing heavily, Tony and Terry stood at the edge, grateful for their narrow escape. They carefully retraced their steps, finding their way back to the original path. As dawn broke, they finally reached the lake, its serene beauty a reward. The lake was a haven for creatures of all kinds, just as the rumors had said. Tony and Terry basked in the tranquility, reflecting on their adventure and the lessons learned. They realized the importance of caution and trusting their instincts. Moral of the story: trust your instincts and be cautious of deceptive offers. True friends will always have your back in times of danger.